Hello, genealogists. It's Craig again with Just Genealogy. So, what I thought I'd do today is corrections, guidance, those kind of things that maybe I forgot to do over the past 35 sessions. Sort of get you caught up, maybe answer some of the questions that you may have had. Some people have brought to my attention some things that they'd like to know about. So, basically, the concept of operations today is to talk about was done in the past, which will lead to the future, and what's in the future, those kind of things. So I did number 28 was on Civil War medical records, and I only dealt with Confederates purposefully because I wanted to do Union separately. So there will be a Civil War medical records talk on Union, and then you may remember if you listen to that Confederate talk, and if you listen to the Union talk, I'll talk about the NIH and the availability of the medical surgical history as downloads, 6 PDF downloads. And what I will in the future do is take each one of those PDF files and go through it so that you have a very good understanding about how you can use the medical surgical history to your advantage. And maybe once every couple of weeks or so, I'll do another PDF file. I'm trying to fix it so instead of doing things all in a row, I'm spreading them out so that there is constantly interest in what we're doing, I hope. Some people have talked to me about pensions, and one of the things that's come up is say you've got a widow's pension and you wonder where the soldier's pension is. Actually, it would be a survivor's pension, not a soldier's pension, but the S stands for survivor, not for soldier. But where is the soldier's pension? And it's in the same envelope. So if you've got a W sitting there in a Revolutionary War pension, that means that the widow's pension is there, but it's likely that the soldier's pension is there also. And what's very important for you to do is to either download and print out off of Fold 3 or create folders on your machine and take each one of the various pieces of paper that's in the pension and evaluate which pensioner it belongs to. And then once you've got basically 2 piles, maybe 3 because there could be a rejected pension in there, then you want to go and put them in chronological order by changing the file name and all that kind of stuff so that you can better evaluate what you found. Of course, I would always recommend that you transcribe the pension anyway. But the point being for this conversation that inside that envelope, there always may be the possibility of more than one pension. I have been doing what I perceive to be series of programs which some people have asked and said, well, this seemed kind of, should there be more? And there is more. Back on number 5, I talked about building a core library for the professional, and I only dealt with one block. I'm actually waiting for William Dollarhide's new migration book to come out so that I can talk about the second block, which is migration in and migration out. The combination of Carrie Eldridge's multiple atlases and Dollarhide's, once I have a look at it, will create a much better program than doing it without Dollarhide. So building a core genealogy library probably will have 8 sessions by the time it's all said and done. The 12 genealogy books piece, those were the first 12. We'll start doing the next 12. We'll probably do state like these are the 12 books you have to have in order to do research in Virginia, that kind of thing. And we'll start picking states. If you've got a state you'd like me to look at, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments section. Book Sunday is pretty straightforward since we've already done it twice and they're already numbered. Every Sunday is going to be Book Sunday. If there's a topic that you would like me to cover on Book Sunday in order to bring those books up to the front and talk about them, I'll be happy to do that. For example, at some point I'll have a Book Sunday on Salem witchcraft because we have so many books on Salem witchcraft. And I'll have one on the French and Indian War, and I'll have one on Hessians and that kind of stuff. Those are all in the planning stages right now and are someplace in the future. On Saturdays, the reoccurring theme is becoming a professional, and that will continue. So we'll get a piece of that every week on how to become a professional. It's my hope at some point in the future, not right away, but at some point, once we get through some of the becoming a professional pieces, that we start a conversation on genealogical standards, on the genealogical proof standard, and those kinds of things so that we can move down. What has delayed me in doing that at this point is that the books that are most helpful for dealing with that issue, Mastering Genealogical Proof, is out of print at NGS. Mastering Genealogical Documentation is about to be out of print at NGS. Genetic Practice is out of print currently, and Numbering is about to be out of print. So it doesn't do me any good to talk about books you can't get to. So as soon as those books are available again, we'll start talking about those books and how valuable they will be to your research. The last thing I want to talk to you about today is I think what I'm going to do is create a live stream the second Wednesday of every month. And basically, it's going to, I don't know whether it's going to be a Stump Craig session or whether it's going to be just the opportunity to get together and talk about things that you need to talk about. I really love the opportunity to talk, but I much prefer the opportunity to talk with someone rather than talking at someone. And responding to comments is, I love to write, don't misunderstand, but responding to a comment is not writing. And comments don't need 16 paragraphs. Whereas it's much easier to deal with some things from the perspective of conversation. So on the second Wednesday of every month at 5 o'clock, we will have, I guess, what they call a live stream. I don't know how to do this yet, so I have to figure it out, but there's enough time for me to figure it out between now and May, whatever it is, so that we can have a live stream and get together and see what we can do. We will record it so that those who aren't able to attend can attend after the fact. So that's the only thing involved there, is that it will be recorded. I don't know what else I have. I'm very interested in learning from you all what you would like me to talk about. Those of you who know me know that I'm a bona fide know-it-all and that I know a lot of stuff. And if you don't move it around in your head a lot, it goes stagnant. So I don't want it to go stagnant. And I want to be able to share as much as I can for as long as I can. And so far, it looks like by doing this day by day, it's working out fairly well. Some days are shorter than others. You'll know that if I'm just bringing a single book to you on a day, that it is in fact a busy day for me, and it's just, I'm doing this because I have to do it and I want to do it, and anyway, it just is the only thing I can do. Now, I've also fixed it so that on Wednesdays there will be a full-fledged lecture kind of thing. Originally, I thought about going to Skillshare or something like that and putting the long-winded things out there, and I just decided that I wasn't going to do that probably yet. So every Wednesday is going to be a 45 to 75 minute talk on a specific subject. Now, some of these you may see pieces of at various times, but this is the full wind. And the ones I'm talking about are like number 27, Follow the Money, which is deep look at Treasury records in Record Group 217. And then yesterday I did one on War of 1812 Dead, which is a deep look at the War of 1812 Dead. Now, what I didn't talk about really in any great depth with the War of 1812 Dead discussion was my passion about collecting War of 1812 Dead. And you are more than welcome, if you've got somebody who died in the war or of wounds following the war, to get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to provide you with any information that I might have relating to a soldier who died in the war, soldier, sailor, or Marine who died in the War of 1812. It's just, it's one of my favorite things to do. I also have the same thing for World War One. I have a database of 132,000 dead in World War One, American dead, soldiers, sailors, and Marines. that you're more than welcome to access through my brain also. And I'll talk about that at some point in the future, should you forget. I don't know what else I have. I'm thinking about using Patreon to be able to provide handouts for those people who support me that way. I'm also thinking about concept of 15-minute consultation, hour consultation, that kind of stuff. Remember that I run the Salt Lake Institute of Genealogy guidance and consultation track. Problem solving is my, it's what I live for, to put it mildly. And so, and we also will in the future have Stump Craig sessions as soon as we can figure out how to do that. There currently is a Stump Craig session that's been recorded out there on Legacy. If you'd like to see how that works, just for fun, go and have a look out there at Legacy. I also have several, 20 or so, I don't know what the exact number is, full-fledged webinars that are out on Legacy also, if you might want to look at those. They deal with Hessians, the Revolution, the Mexican War, Quakers, those kind of things. So I think that has covered everything that I needed to talk about today. We'll try to get to that Union Civil War medical talk at some time soon. We've got Becoming a Professional Genealogist, the research side, coming up tomorrow, and that will be session 36. And then we'll have Book Sunday. The other issue is I'm getting a lot of complaints from people saying I don't invite you to a call to action. I don't interact with you enough, although I try to respond to every comment. And try to keep my ums down too. That's really been a problem for me. I really do need for you to subscribe. I really do need for you to hit that notification bell rather. I really do need for you to tell your friends about Just Genealogy so that I can continue to do this. It's very important for me to get to the point where there are enough people listening that it's worth my, I could be publishing more books. I have 10,000. I could get another 10,000. So, I mean, this takes time, and I need to know that my time is being well utilized in my effort, Just Genealogy's effort to convert people doing genealogy into genealogists day by day. So subscribe, click whatever you're supposed to click. I don't know. I just talk and edit ums out. I'm having fun. I hope that you're having fun too. Know that I appreciate all of you, and know that I know many of you, and I'm getting to know some of you that I knew from years ago and haven't heard from in a long time. And then, of course, new people I'm just learning about also. So I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. Stick with Just Genealogy. Let me know what you want me to talk about, because given enough time, I can talk about anything. I'm doing a talk on indentured servants for the North Carolina Genealogical Society on the 4th of May, to give you some idea. I always have a lecturing schedule going on, and somehow I'll figure out how to get my calendar available. Appreciate y'all. Have a good morning, afternoon, or good night.